Alright, so here's a question that's been on the minds of car enthusiasts and motorsport fans for years. Why isn't Porsche racing in Formula 1? You'd think with all their racing history and engineering brilliance, they'd be at the front and center of the F1 grid, right? But there's actually a lot more to the story than you might expect. In today's video, we're diving deep into why Porsche, despite its legendary status in the racing world, doesn't have a presence in Formula 1. From their focus on endurance racing to some pretty complex business and technical reasons, we're going to unravel it all. We'll also touch on some fascinating moments in Porsche's history with F1. Yes, they did dabble in it before, and how those experiences shaped their current stance. So if you're curious about why one of the most iconic names in motorsport isn't competing in the most famous racing series, stick around. You're going to want to hear this. Porsche. Just the name conjures up images of high-speed precision, engineering excellence, and a racing legacy that's almost unmatched. Founded in 1931, Porsche didn't take too long to establish itself as a force to be reckoned with in the motorsport world. Their success spans multiple disciplines, but where they truly dominated is in endurance racing, particularly at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Their first victory at Le Mans in 1970 was just the beginning. Porsche has gone on to secure more than 19 overall wins there, more than any other manufacturer in history. This isn't just about speed, it's about building cars that can withstand the grueling demands of a 24-hour race. A testament to Porsche's engineering brilliance. But let's not forget the success in other arenas. The World Rally Championship is another area where Porsche has proven its versatility. The Porsche 911, a model that's practically synonymous with the brand, has been significant success in rallying, showing off its capability across a variety of challenging terrains. Then there's the Porsche 919 Hybrid, a car that pushed the boundaries of what's possible on the track. This vehicle was so advanced that it managed to set lap times at Spa-Francorchamps that were faster than those of contemporary F1 cars. A clear statement of Porsche's engineering capabilities were not confined by F1's stringent regulations. Porsche has also made its mark in the Nürburgring, arguably the most challenging track in the world. In a 2018 record-breaking run, Porsche's 919 Hybrid Evo lapped the circuit in just 5 minutes and 19 seconds, a jaw-dropping 51 seconds faster than the previous record. These achievements are more than just victories, they're benchmarks that have set the standard for automotive excellence and reliability. So why isn't Porsche competing in F1, where they could presumably showcase these strengths on an even bigger stage? Well, it turns out their success and approach in other racing categories have a lot to do with it. When you think of top-tier motorsport, Formula 1 often comes to mind as the ultimate proving ground. But Porsche's approach to racing has always been a bit different. While other manufacturers dive into F1 to boost their brand, Porsche has consistently focused on what they do best: endurance racing and creating road cars that are just as reliable as they are fast. Let's take a closer look. Porsche's 911 models, particularly the 992 GT3, have waiting lists stretching from 2 to 4 years. This isn't a brand that needs the spotlight of F1 to sell cars. They're already in high demand. Porsche's cars are celebrated not just for their speed, but for their durability, with over 70% of all 911s ever made still on the road today. F1, on the other hand, is all about short bursts of speed and performance. The engines are designed to last only a few races, which is the exact opposite of Porsche's philosophy of building engines that endure for the long haul. Participating in F1 wouldn't showcase what Porsche is really about: building high-performance vehicles that stand the test of time. Then there's also the matter of Porsche's beloved flat-six engine. This iconic design is a hallmark of the brand, but F1's regulations simply don't accommodate it. While F1 is pushing towards hybrid systems and alternative powertrains, Porsche has chosen to develop these technologies in other arenas, such as Formula E and their own road cars. Interestingly, Porsche has dabbled in F1 before. They first entered the fray in the early 1960s with their Porsche 804, a car that brought them a single Grand Prix victory at the 1962 French Grand Prix. However, the costs were enormous, and the returns were not what they hoped for. Fast forward to the 1980s, and Porsche found more success as an engine supplier under the TAG Porsche banner, powering McLaren to multiple championships. But again, the investment was huge, and Porsche didn't even get to brand the engine under their own name. In more recent years, Porsche considered a return to F1, even getting as far as negotiations with Red Bull in 2022. However, these talks fell apart because Porsche wanted a level of control that Red Bull wasn't willing to give up. Essentially, Porsche wanted to be more than just an engine supplier. They wanted a significant stake in the team's operations. something that didn't sit well with Red Bull. This strategic approach, where Porsche would only enter F1 on their own terms, shows how serious they are about maintaining their brand's integrity. F1, with its ever-changing regulations and high costs, just doesn't align with Porsche's long-term goals and engineering philosophy. So why isn't Porsche racing in Formula 1? The answer lies in a combination of their deep-rooted brand values. They're focused on endurance racing and a business strategy that prioritizes long-term success over short-term gains. While Formula 1 is the pinnacle of motorsport for many, Porsche has found its own paths to success, ones that align more closely with their commitment to engineering excellence and durability. Their legacy in racing, particularly at Le Mans, and their continued innovation in other areas like Formula E, showcase a company that knows exactly where its strength lies. And while we might not see them on the F1 grid, Porsche's impact on the world of motorsport is undeniable and continues to grow in other exciting directions.